What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Surviving Your 20s podcast. It's your girl Shar, and I'm so happy because you decided to come through. Okay, it is Black History Month. Power to the people, power to the people. Do you see my shirt? It says Black, Blessed, and Beautiful. I strategically did that because I knew that it was Black History Month. You feel me? Okay. And I made this sweater myself, and I'm really feeling the vibes this Black History Month. I'm usually not the person to be like, it's Black History Month, it's Black History Month, but lately I've been just in tuned, after you gain more knowledge about how powerful your melanin is, you just be like, yes, it's Black History Month. We Black, okay? Whether you got a wig, whether it's synthetic, whether you got your natural hair out, it doesn't matter. We are Black and we're powerful as women, okay? Period. And although this is not a podcast just for Black women, I am a Black woman, so I will always promote Black women. But shout out to all my other people out there. But this is our month, Black History Month. Anyway, let me give you guys some updates. Your girl been booked, your girl been busy, but your girl's still trying to get her life together. Aren't we all? Shout out to the girls trying to get their life together, because we're all trying to figure it out. And I just need to find a work-life balance as it relates to figuring out my next steps and what I want to do with my life. But other than that, I've been going with the flow. I've been trying to get into a morning routine. I've been reading my book. Have you been reading? Carrot is laughing at me, but he's such a hater, and haters gonna hate. I need some woman. If you're a woman and you produce, holla at me, because I need you to produce this podcast, because the men behind the camera just don't understand what is happening. But other than that, your girl's been chilling and vibing out and just trying to be productive. That's my main thing for this year. Being productive, staying disciplined, and working really hard, because I declared some things for this year, and this is my last year being X, Y, and Z. Okay. When they come to pass, I'll definitely share with you guys. But I really want to know how you guys have been doing, what you've been up to. Valentine's Day passed? Were you in any entanglements in this season? I want to know, because I want to help you, sis, because I warned you not to, but yeah, I want to know what you've been up to on Valentine's Day or Galentine's, if you was out with your friends. I really want to know, so you can definitely hit me up and let's chat. I love chatting with people via Instagram. So today we have some great topics to discuss. Now, number one, we're going to be talking about the Tinder Swindler. All right, Tinder Swindler. And if you have not watched that on Netflix, you go watch that and then come back to this podcast, because I would really want to know what you guys think. I have a lot to say as it relates to him. You could tell by the name, Tinder Swindler. You already know what's going down. And I'm going to be dropping spoilers. So if you have not watched it, go watch it and come back. And then two, we're going to be talking about a popular pastor who just got engaged to his girlfriend. So I guess now that's his fiance, but not his girlfriend of 1 year, not his girlfriend of 2 years, but his girlfriend for over 20 years. Somebody please call 911. Someone please call 911. What is happening? I have a lot to say on that topic. And you remember last podcast, I was like, oh my God, these church people have no drama. And guess what, baby? he came with the fire. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be weighing in on my thoughts as it relates to that, because I'm trying to teach you guys how to survive in your 20s. So these two topics right here, I feel like they're going to be bangers, and they're going to really shed light on what to do and what not to do. All right. Especially as women. Okay. So let's go into number one. I'm going to give you a full review of the Tinder Swindler. Cue music. Dun, 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 dun. All right. The Tinder Swindler. What comes to mind when you hear Tinder? You hear dating app. But what comes to mind when you hear swindler? An average regular dude from Brooklyn around the corner, right? So you put those two together and you have Simon Levy. Woo! Okay. And not only that, Simon Levy was a great, some people are calling him a scammer. Some people are calling him a cutie. And to me, I just feel like he's a legend. Like, open your history books. That man should be in there, because this is some craziness that went down. Simon Levy is one of the first people I know to have a woman take out 9 loans. Oh my God, 9 loans? I was talking to one of my friends and she was like, black people can't even get 1 loan. But all right, let me break it down. Let me break it down. Okay. I'm going to tell you about the Tinder Swindler, and he is Simon Levi, whichever one. Is he a Levite? I don't know. Simon Levi. And he was on Tinder posting these posh pictures in a private jet. He had a bodyguard. He was living like this lavish, flourishing, opulent life. And let me tell you something. These are women who are telling their stories about how they got caught up into who he was as a person and what he had to offer. And basically it's on Swindler. Okay, whatever. You guys get my point. They were on Tinder scrolling and they came across his profile. So we're going to talk about the first woman. Her name is Cecile. And she's like a hopeless romantic. Actually, she's been on Tinder for over 7 years. Somebody call 911. She is a veterinarian at Tinder, okay? She knows what's going down on the app. She knows how to swipe left and how to swipe right, okay? She needs to now give a master class on Tinder because they need to also cut her a check because she has been allowing that app to make money, okay? Usually people go on dating apps, they find someone and they get off, right? No, she is there to stay. So, long story short, she finds Simon's profile. She's like, wow. He looks so good, whatever. She likes him. To me, he's just a average looking Jewish guy, I guess. Go up on Eastern Parkway. You see one of them right now. He looks just like Simon. Okay, but to each his own, right? You know what I'm saying? So she basically liked his page. They matched. You swipe left or right. I don't know which direction you swipe, but you swipe and they match you. And I guess he was like, oh, I'm going to be in your city or whatever. I'm leaving such and such place tomorrow. You want to come? X, Y, and Z. She's like, okay. They go out on a date and everything is smooth sailing. And then guess what, guys? She doesn't go home. No, he kicks it up a notch. Okay, he take her to a nice place. Fine. You would think like, oh, this is a dude that could take me out to a nice place. Whatever. He takes her to a nice place, and then he says, "Do you have a passport? Do you want to fly out tonight?" I don't know the city they were going to, but on those sides of the world, like you could take a flight from, well, first of all, he had a private jet. Let me put that out there. He was not traveling JetBlue. He was not traveling Emirates. He was traveling on his private jet with his bodyguard. And he was like, you have a passport, whatever. I want to take you out, whatever. Stay with me, come with me, whatever. And she was like, okay, yes. You know what I'm saying? She's telling her friends, you only live once. Her friends are like, are you crazy? In my head, I'm like, it could not be me. I'm skeptical, like, passport. As for me in my house, it would have went down like that. But she was just blown away by all these things that he had to offer her. She said yes. She packed her bag. She's on the plane. Not only was she on the plane, though, the baby mother was on a plane. And the baby, red flag number 1. Red flag number 1 right there. All right, so you agreed to go on a plane with a man, right? And not only do you agree to go on a plane with a man that you have no idea who he is, the baby mother was there too in the baby, and you felt okay. All right, the most disheartening thing about this is that they have footage. She was up in arms. She's like, oh my God, I love. He was like, I love it. I love you, Any guy that whisper, you gotta. Why he talking like that? First of all, I'm really from Brooklyn because you can't be whispering. Talk up. Let me hear what you got to say. Anyway, you don't whisper, Carrot. You speak calm. It's a different. He's like, say, baby, I love you. That accent just throws me off. You're not a whisperer. Talk up. Anyway, talk up, baby. So whatever, it's the other side of the world. I don't know how things operate over there. So long story short, he's telling her like he's the father. He's the son of a billionaire. He has this company called LLD Diamonds right here in New York City, baby. Take me out to dinner. Yes, right here in New York. So she's feeling like, all right, this could be the one. He really likes me, and he gets her into his world by just showering her with all of this love and affection. She sleeps with him on the first night. Red flag number 2. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this. A lot of people that slept with someone on the first night and was together. Highly not recommended, though. Not recommended by B. For many reasons, health reasons, a lot. And first of all, second of all, I'm Christian. I wouldn't be promoting that lifestyle. Not now, not never, not tomorrow. I mean, some people did it, and I'm not faulting you if you did. Let's make that clear. You know, everybody got a history. Everybody got a past. That's fine, you know. But I wouldn't recommend that. Anyway, she slept with him. He could have had something, but that's neither here nor there. And she really starts feeling him. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling, but long story short, they get into it, and he's telling her about his history, how for some reason he has enemies after him. And let's fast forward a bit. He sends a picture of his bodyguard, Peter, to her. She's imagine you're at work. You're texting the love of your life. Hey, baby, you know, you met a guy on Tinder. You're feeling him. He's a billionaire son. You like, damn, I hit the jackpot. Whatever. He texts her a picture of his bodyguard, Peter, saying that his enemies are after him. Peter had a Simon and Peter and Simon. Peter and Simon. So he was like, my enemies are after me. Whatever. You know, I suck at that accent, but you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. So he's like, my enemies are after me. And he sends a picture of Peter in the ambulance, and his story was together. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, his story was together. The fact that he had Peter with the fake blood, you know what I'm saying? It could have been real too. Peter's a strong dude. He's a big bulky dude. He probably was like, bro, hit me right here. We got to get the story together. Whatever. Peter had his little cookie on the side of his forehead. He had blood on the back of his head. And she's like, oh my God, like, I have to help. And let me tell you something. Red flag number 3, woman, you don't have to help. You don't have to. If a man says he's a billionaire, what that got to do with you? Number 1. Number 2, how you gonna help? Tell him call the police. Who told you was law enforcement, Cecilia? Who told you that? I wish a dude from Brownsville would tell me his enemies is after him. I'm gone. I'll see you later. I don't got no time for that, okay? Your enemies is after you, so who am I? They gonna hold me for bondage. Next thing you know, I'm in the back of a white van with a sock in my mouth and a hood over my head, and they're talking about give me Simon. I'm good on that. So that's where she messed up. And all my black people know what I'm talking about because who does this? Like, he was so forward. He was just shower bombing her, love bombing her with all these things. And she was too caught up in her hopeless romanticness to see it. As the story progresses, I see that she ends up taking out an Amex card for him. He's like, oh, hey, you know, I don't want any money being traced to me because my enemies is after me. Sounds like a typical hood dude story. Okay, now let me say, let me just say this. Let me for the women who want to sit there and take care of a man, it's not something we should do at no point. If a man claims he is something, you could have came in as your regular self, bro, but you came in as a billionaire. And if you came in as a billionaire and you're the billionaire's son, that means you got connections. Call your auditor, call your bank, call your assistant, call somebody. Don't call on me. I just met you a month ago. But then women, again, we fail to ask the tough questions. And this is why I say this man is a legend. Okay? Because I know I should be on the women's side. Like, I feel so bad. I couldn't feel bad. I was watching a film and I just laughed. I'm like, nah, this cannot be real life. Like, who just wakes up and takes out 9 loans for a dude that you just met? And this is why I'm saying, sis slept with him on the first night. Clouded judgment. Okay, you said yes to a private jet on the first time. Clouded judgment. And let me just be honest with you. I think that if you don't check people, my husband and I was talking about this. If you don't check people bank statements, if you don't check their sources, talk to their family members, they could be lying. They could be straight up lying to your face if you have not seen. You know what I'm saying? How can you say that this person is a billionaire? Have you seen his establishment? Did he walk you through his daily affairs, his day-to-day activities? You know, and that's how women get caught up with an average scam or with an average person who's sitting there lying. I know, because I was one of them. Now check this. Thank God I was a little whiplash back in the day, but let me tell you, I wasn't like a dummy to be taking out like my personal credit and doing stuff for dudes. But I had this one dude who was telling me, because this is how Simon came to her. He didn't just come to her and say, yo, my enemies are after me. He said, hey, I'm in trouble. He came, I have to ask you something for help. He came very soft and calm. And it really struck me like, yo, somebody tried to do that to me before. He was claiming that he owned his house. He was claiming that he had a real watch. And Simon was too. Simon had a fake watches. But listen, this story goes deep. Anyway, let me continue with mine. So I was dealing with this dude. He claimed he had a house. I just believed it. I was like, okay, this is your house. I wholeheartedly believe that this is your house. Because I was young, I didn't ask for paperwork. I didn't ask for the deed. I didn't ask for anything. I just was like, okay, he says this is his house. Fine. This person was trying to borrow money from me. And then I was just like, aren't you like this person? But this is what I'm saying to you. If I had just took myself back and said, all right, let me really evaluate who this person is, then I wouldn't have been so caught up. So I'm guessing I could feel a little sympathy for this woman, but to take out a loan, you know, for someone that you barely know, it just strikes me. Because I personally feel like women, we sometimes go mad hard for a dude and we wouldn't even give that energy to our friend, to our mother, to our brother, to our sister. You know what I'm saying? Your mother been asking you to cook her dinner for 5 days and you have not done it, but you're taking out a loan for a man. That's where my red flags go up. Like, how could someone just come in your life at this one point and really take everything you had? This is where she got her portions worth. She's giving him the Amex card. She's the one calling. She made him an authorized user, I'm guessing, on the card. And so he's maxing it out, $20,000 a day. He's eating at these fancy restaurants. He's ghosting her. You know what I'm saying? She haven't seen him in a long time, telling her to look for apartments. The budget is $15,000 a month. Child, this man is a whole swindler. Okay, he caught her real good. The truth is, though, he met somebody else, Pernilla. Now, Pernilla she went on a date with him. She found him on Tinder, but she said there's no romantic relationship there. And so she just decided to be his friend. He took Cecilia's money, girl number one, and was spending it on Pernilla and his girlfriend at the time. So he had two girlfriends, Cecilia, who was the one who was funding the lavish trips, and Pernilla was his friend, and he had a girlfriend. You get it? You get how mixy this is? So Pernilla got caught up with it too. And the only thing that saved Pernilla, which was girl number two, which was his friend, was that Cecilia was booking flights. So she had to know who was going to be on the flight, the team of people. And so they found Pernilla, and a journalist reached out to her. And she already gave him money at that time, but she didn't go in as bad as the first girl. She had like $250,000 in debt. But the second girl, she probably had around $50,000. Now, one thing that struck me real hard was Simon, the journalist, took a visit back to Simon's hometown. And Simon was living in this building. It looks like Brownsville houses, okay, in Israel. It just looks, not saying that, it just looked like it's not up to par. So here you have this billionaire, and they go to visit this wannabe billionaire, quote unquote, because he ain't rich. He was stealing other people's money. All right, so they went to his mother's house to try to see what's up with this kid. Like, You know what I'm saying? She's like, I don't know Simon. She has a hunchback. Her living conditions are a mess. Any dude that don't take care of his mother is a big, 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 big red flag for me. Like, to see her like she has a hunchback. She's just sitting there like, oh, I have not talked to my son in 18 years. And she's explaining her story. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy how he's out here on private jets flying girls out using people's money, and he never came back to the hood to give his mother a little couch, a little sofa, a little flat screen TV. Like, it was just crazy how she was just like, leave me alone, I haven't talked to him, whatever. Point, I just feel like this story is crazy, and it should be a lesson for all of us. Number one, not everybody is who they appear to be. Like, I could go on and on and on about how many wicked things Simon did. He scammed Finnish women. This wasn't in a documentary. Like, these women's stories wasn't told, but overall, this man scammed $10 million. Not one, not two guys, $10 million from women. Allegedly. Because I don't want the man to sue me. Allegedly, he scammed $10 million. Okay, they caught up to him. He got arrested in Israel. He served 5 out of 15 months, and he is now free, living his best life, and those women are still paying their debts. What do I have to say about this? What does this have to do with your 20s? This has everything to do with your 20s. The level of vulnerability that although these women weren't in their 20s, it just shows that you have to grow and develop as a person. At some point, you have to look at yourself and say, what do I want out of life? I cannot be finessed and I cannot keep getting finessed by a man. Carrot just informed me that Simon's Instagram has 1.4 million followers and he's following 0 people. And I mean, he actually worked really hard for this. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I can't even be mad at him. I do feel for the women. I'm no shade. I'm not saying it couldn't have been me. Probably could have. I just don't. I just. I don't know what to say. Like, but I think as women, we just got to do better. Like, with vetting people out. At some point, you have to grow up. You have to say to yourself, I can't be getting finessed. I can't continue to let people play me. And I know there's so many women out here who's been getting played. One thing about me, though, and I'm not saying this has to be your story, I don't give men money. I'm sorry. I've always had equal exchanges. Anybody that I've spoken to, they can't say they bought me a bag. That was just a pride thing. You can't tell me you bought me a shoe. You can't say you flew me out. You can't say you did anything, because that's not my character. Maybe it was my pride. Maybe it was the way I grew up. I just can't have people doing things for me, and because I'm gonna feel weird. Like, what if it don't work out? Like, what if you're not someone that I want to be with forever? Now you're on Facebook and Instagram talking about, yeah, give me back my bag. Like, I don't really have time for that, and I'm just not that obsessed with having these material luxuries from a man. Like, especially if you're not really my dude. So I'm not saying you can't spoil your boyfriend. I'm not saying that you can't spoil your husband. I'm not saying that you can't spoil your fiance, get him a gift. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to consistently give somebody money as if you're their mother, as if you're their sole provider, and taking out credit cards and loans. And where they do that at? Oh, no, baby. Wrong girl. But for a woman, I think it's a lesson. One, dating apps. I'm very biased about dating apps, and this is just my opinion, okay? I'm not out here trying to tell people what to do, but at the age of 15, I was catfished, and that's a story that I took down from my YouTube, but I feel like I'll put it back up or insert like a clip somewhere, a link, unlisted link. So I am embarrassed, okay? I was around 15 years old and I was catfished. These are the times where I was on Scenely. And if you don't know Scenely, it's like, it was like an app that was like the first filter app, but it was on your computer because nobody really had phones. And it kind of distorted your face. Like, I'll show you if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, just look up Scenely, you'll know. We had terrible cameras back then. We were using webcams, pixelated as heck. And so I found this kid and I'm like, okay, like I'm in high school, whatever. He looks really cute. So let's meet up by Dunkin' Donuts right in Canarsie. Child. So he was telling me his age. He was telling me his how tall he was. Yeah. I'm like, okay, he's 5'9", cool story. You know what I'm saying? He's cute. Child. I was on the bus and I was like anxious. I'm like, oh my God, I'm finally gonna meet him. So I saw a cutie across the street and I'm like, oh my God, this has to be him. It's like, it felt like a movie because I'm like, all right, this has to be him. Like, he's so cute. It wasn't a lie, X, Y, and Z, because I'm like glancing, texting on the bus. This is my stop. All right, now I get off the bus and I'm like, I'm looking at you like you're right here. And he's like, no, I'm across the street. You do not want to know, child. You do not want to know what I saw when I looked across the street. He was short. Now, keep in mind, I was about 5'3" at the time. He was shorter than me. He could have been a midget, but he dang sure wasn't 5'9". He was not 5'9", and I'm not saying that I'm a person that's like superficial, like I like height and stuff. But if you're 5'9", I don't know if his tape measure broke. I don't know if he cut off some inches on that, child. So he was, but he went. All right, so we met up, cool, and we're talking, and I'm just disappointed. You could only imagine how I was just like, what the heck happened? Like, from this to this, like, this is too much for my young brain to even fathom right now. All right. He then was like talking, but I noticed like he wasn't opening up his mouth. So he was talking and like not looking at me in the face. Cause I'm like, all right, maybe something could be there. Like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like so caught up on the height thing that this could just be a block for something. I don't know what you do in high school. You just trying to figure stuff out. But he's talking like, I'm like, all right, so what we doing? Like, where we going? What we doing? He's just talking with his mouth shut. So, and then like he laughs, but he's like covering his mouth when he laughs. So he's like covering his mouth, like, and I'm just like, why is he covering his mouth? Child, those teeth was throwing up gang signs. They were crip walking all through his mouth. And that right there already let me know that I really got catfished. It wasn't an extreme catfish like, oh my God, this is a totally different person. Like, I could see some features were there, but this was the first filter app that let me know, like, from here on out, I wanted every dude that I meet, I have to see you in person. I don't care. That's so can you imagine from like that age, 15 on, like, I'm a person, once I learn a lesson, thank God for this. I don't know if it's something God put inside of me, but once I learned that lesson, I'm done. I have never downloaded the app. And this is not to say people don't meet and find people on apps. Okay. I just know that's not my portion and not my ministry, because if I get catfished, it would have been over. I got played in person. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to get played by someone if you meet them on Tinder or if you meet them in person. It just all depends on the individual, right? But for my case, I'm scarred. I was scarred. And I said, absolutely not, never again. It was just a mess, okay? His mouth was a mess. His whole, he was like, yeah, I'm going to see you again, right? Absolutely not. The funny thing is, though, I did see him on my Instagram page, probably like, keep in mind, I had this Instagram from like 2010. I did see him on my Instagram page. He popped up probably around like 2 months ago. And I was just like, oh my God, still a midget, huh? Still didn't grow. But if you want to know why I don't do apps, that's probably it. But if you have found someone, I actually do know someone who met her husband on an app. Shout out to Kat. I know someone who found her husband on an app. She has 2 kids and it worked out for her. So I'm not against it. I just know it's not for me. So that's why I say know your portion. So if you're a little more gullible and you're not able to vet people out, I don't think you should be on an app. I think you should be more of an in-person type of individual, because you might get like overexcited for what people are showing you on the internet. And ultimately, the internet is like a place where people could put on filters and a show. So this whole Tinder Swindler thing is just a mess. And y'all stay safe out here in these streets because it gets real. So number one, never, for me, I wouldn't recommend it. Don't give it up on the first night. Two, if a dude asks you to come to in his car, on a jet, on a trip, within the first week that y'all meet, what is really happening? You get what I'm saying? What are your intentions? And I'm not saying that it don't work out for some people. I'm just saying you have to question these things. And definitely, if a man is asking you for money because his enemies are after him, that meme has been taking me out on Instagram. Everybody's like, my enemies are after me. My enemies are after me. Can y'all cut me a check? Okay. I need a check. There's people after me. Sally Mae. Your credit cards is after you. Who else is after you? I don't know. I guess Sally Mae and yeah. Speaking of Sally Mae, Joe Byron is giving out crack pipes, but he don't want to forgive student debt. But anyway, it's a lot of stuff going on. And Joe Biden, if you're watching this right now, my enemies are after me. Let me get it on this camera. My enemies are after me, Joe Byron. I don't know what you're trying to do with the crack pipes. I don't know. But my enemies are after me. Sally Mae, she's after me, bro. And I need you to come through for me. Okay. With that being said, ladies, we got to be careful. If you have any catfish stories, if you have any swindling stories, if you got finessed out of some money, this is a safe space that I curated for us to kind of vibe out and tell our story. I think we all grow from stories and experiences. I'm sure if you got catfish or even watch the show Catfish, you feel my pain, seeing those 6s and 9s and cryptic signs and blood signs being thrown up in that boy's mouth. But this is a safe space. So let me know, okay, guys? And let me know your thoughts on the Tinder Swindler. Let me know your thoughts on him. Follow him on Instagram. Is he a legend? Is he a scammer? Is he just a regular dude from Israel who wanted to make it out the hood? I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this because I just need to know, okay? So you can email me at surviving20spod@gmail.com or hit me up on Instagram. The handle for Instagram is surviving 2.0 and my personal Instagram is SHARLENEEEE_. Okay, so let's talk about it, y'all. There's this popular pastor who's in the media, and I mean, I haven't seen him in a long time. I know of him. I haven't really watched a sermon from him. I wasn't really too deep into him as a person, but maybe someone you know, maybe your mother was, because he's an older gen pastor. And so he has just proposed to his girlfriend of 20 years. What are your thoughts? I know what my thoughts are. Is she okay? Loretta, if you're seeing this and you need help, I'm here for you. Just blink twice if you need help. I am heavily concerned for that woman. And this is not me judging. I'm just stating my opinion because let me tell y'all, a girlfriend of 20 years and she's getting proposed to right now. I just don't see how she did it. And I'm not coming for the action itself because there's many people who don't believe in marriage. There's many people who don't believe in, signing papers to solidify their stuff. That's fine. That's what you believe. I know I believe in marriage and I'm going to sign them papers. I am so lost. When I saw this article, I thought it was a joke. I had to check the sources. I was like, this is crazy. I am lost. As someone who is a firm believer in having a relationship with Jesus Christ, from the bottom of my jam American heart, I am lost. I just personally feel like there's certain things that come with a job. Like if you're a police officer, I don't want to see you on the corner smoking crack. It's just like, you're a police officer, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a certain field, there's certain requirements, and it's not to say like people put it on you. It's like, no, this is what comes with a job. Now, I'm not saying as a pastor you have to be married. That's not what I'm saying as it relates to we only listen to pastors who are married. Absolutely not. I just don't think a long-time girlfriend is something of 20 years. You know, it's not like a year. It's not 2 years. This is a whole 20 years. I'm 25. They got together when I was 5 years old. Isn't that crazy? Y'all heard me? I was 5 when they got together. I grew up and got married before her. Come, y'all, the podcast has ended. I'm signing off. I was 5 years old. Do you know what I was doing when I was 5? Playing with dolls. Okay, now I'm a whole grown woman married before her. I just don't understand this, and I've been trying to wrap my head around it. I've been looking to see the light in what he's saying about her being a longtime girlfriend. From what I understand, he was on the Preachers of LA. He also appeared on this radio show V103 Atlanta, and he was explaining his hesitation to get married again because he was married before. He got married young at 24. His wife, 21, sorry. His wife was much older than him. Not too much, but she was older than him. And he said he gave a whole speech on another YouTube channel, Christ Intervention, and he was saying how he lost his marriage because he put God before his wife. And, you know, he was explaining, and I feel like his explanation was really good as it relates to some pastors because, you know, some pastors do put their church before their priorities at home, and they say, no, I was a pastor before you met me, X, Y, and Z. Like, we know those stories. So it felt good watching that video and seeing him take accountability. But for this one, I just don't understand. I get that you have to heal before you get into another committed relationship, but 20 years, this man is not 30. He is 72 years old. Which means they got together when he was 52. At this point, just take the cane down the aisle with the wheelchair. If it took him 20 years to make her fiance, will she be married before he's gone? Who do you think will get married first? Know your history. Chrissy and Jim Jones. I was in high school when she proposed. Yes, when she proposed. I said it right. It's not an error. She proposed. She got down on her one knee and asked. She got down on her one knee that God has given her out of the two, and she went down on it and proposed. And she ain't married yet. I'm a grown woman, and I'm married before her. Again, I was in high school. I was taking the 3 train to Harlem on 116th Street. And this is what I'm saying. Who will get married? It's battle of who will get married first. I don't know. And when Jim Jones, you guys don't know the clip, when she proposed, when Chrissy got down on one knee to propose, Jim Jones said, yeah, I'm with you. And he put on a ring. And then he proposed back to her because she felt bad. And she has been a fiance ever since. I don't understand. Loretta didn't have the courage to get down on one of the 2 knees. I guess she just didn't have it in her like Chrissy did. She very old fashioned. She said, they that wait, come on the Lord, shall renew. Yes, their strength, and surely her strength has been renewed. I guys, I really need your feedback on this one. A forever girlfriend. I don't know what that looks like. My point in all of this to say, girls, ladies, women, young women, older women, all right, eldest woman, if you are at a place where you're with someone and they are not making an effort to say, here's the next steps that we're going to take in this relationship, I just think you should not even waste your time. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, to not only present your bodies as a living sacrifice, but don't let no man play you. Don't wait. Somebody was in prison, life sentence served. got out on good behavior, and you're still not married. This is very upsetting and depressing. Women, don't do it to yourself, okay? By the time you're 20 now, but you wait till 40 for this big extravagant thing. I just don't get it. It doesn't take a man 20 years to really feel like he wants you. And if a man says he's not ready, leave him alone. He is most likely true. And I'm sure that he told her, because usually men tell you either verbally, non-verbally, that they not feeling you right now. And sometimes men want to get their life together, sort some things out before they feel like they're ready for you. And you have the option to stay or you have the option to leave. Some women stay because they feel like if they stay, they're going to have this ride or die story. I don't know where that came from. And some women decide to leave and say, hey, you don't want me, I'm out, I'm gone. And I feel like you should be more of the woman who wants to leave. I'm out, I'm gone. And you should just leave for solely of the self-respect and dignity and integrity that you have. Like, leave with your self-respect. Because this one, I just don't get it. I really was 5 years old. I was probably eating a Capri Sun and a Cheetos, and I don't get it. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts on this pastor. And let me know how you feel. Have you ever been in an entanglement that lasted a couple of years and then you realize like, oh, this is really not the one, and you got out really quickly before like you were caught up in a 20-year, 10-year saga? Because I really want to hear that story as well. And the message for this podcast is literally, don't wait. Number one, if someone says their enemies are after you, ladies, run fast as you can. Because one, if their enemies are after them, they're definitely going to be after you. Who wants to get caught up in that? Wants to get an entanglement? And two, don't be that woman waiting 20 years for a man to get on one knee. And let me say this. If he's not proposing to you, I don't think you should get down and do what Chrissy did either. So we ain't proposing to men. I don't know. I'd rather count the grain in the sand one by one. Or like I said in my status, bite concrete before I get down on one of the twenties that God gave me to propose. And this is no judgment here. It's just something like I said, I personally wouldn't recommend, but to each his own. You guys do your judgment there. I want you to think freely, use what applies to you, dump what doesn't. So thank you guys for tuning into the Surviving Your 20s podcast. I'm so excited that you came here, that we discussed, that we laughed, that we talked about dating apps and everything in between. If you have not already, follow my friend Simon Levi on. So, oh no, not him. Sorry, I made a mistake. I did inbox him though. I did. I sent him a voice note. He didn't respond, but I did ask him how he did what he did. Cause like I said, Joe Byron, not the get rid of the crack pipes. I need my loans paid. Check me out on Instagram at Surviving 2.0. Email me at surviving20spod@gmail.com or write me on my personal page at SHARLENEEEE. That's 4 E's and an underscore. I'm definitely excited to see you guys in the next episode. Remember, stay safe in these online dating streets. Bye.